pretty hairy.
I don't know what we're talking about.
The bearded woman? So there's in the circus, there's a person that she has like a full beard, like a luscious, glorious beard. Okay, and she's just named the bearded woman. She was one of the circus acts of just, she can sing and she's got a big giant beard. Cool, that's the extent of it. But can you imagine being like 12-year-old bearded woman? Like when you start getting stubble.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you can sing. So now I want you to stand in front of people and use your voice while we all stare at your beard. Like, can you imagine that experience that she had to go through to get to a point where she's confident enough to be able to sing as the bearded woman?
Was it like a full beard?
Yeah.
You never seen that? Like the bearded woman's history is like ZZ
Oh,
Top
any girl
beard.
with the beard, whatever size, you know, whatever size.
Just Google it. Yeah, like that, like longer than that. Like it's luscious. Yeah, it's
Like better.
It's beard.
That's a black shadow. I'm
It's beard.
Way better. Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
No, I'm good, bro.
Learn to be ashamed of all the scars. Run away, they say. Oh no, you hasn't lied. But won't let them break me down. 'Cause I know that there's a place for us. We'll be glorious. When the sharpest words will cut me down. When the sin blood gonna drown me out. I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
What do we know so far?
She can sing.
She can sing.
She don't have no beard.
I know, I was gonna say that. Where's the beard?
Yeah, they're coming looking professional, bro. I didn't shave it.
That's the bearded woman?
So between you and I preset this. This is the group where they're going to sing for the financial backers, and she plays the bearded woman. So I'm semi-assuming that this is probably the moment pre-makeup before we put a beard on the woman. Does that make sense? I'm cool with you kind of confused that you're not seeing a beard right now, but this is just the moment pre-makeup.
Oh, okay.
We just haven't gotten there in the stage.
It's like
Yeah.
audition.
She ends up being the bearded woman, but this is like her audition to get to the point for us to want to be able to pay where we can put a beard on her. Does it make sense? We get timeline agreed upon here. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, where's the beard? Yeah, it's not you. You're not like missing the beard right now. Yeah. So we know a few things right now. We know there are some people over here. We know there are some people over here. We know that she's a little nervous. She's hiding behind her thing. Her voice is a little like, how many of y'all have been this way walking up to a door? Hell yeah. We know that. We all know that time. Hell yeah. You're like, you're like opening your door and you're like trying to figure a way to like walk the sidewalk the longer way than you can to like get to a door and stuff. Hell yeah.
I am scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen the people now. This is like Eric coming up to this room and like he's kind of inspired. Y'all are all still tired and sleepy and like haven't fully woken up yet. Y'all are like still, you know. But she turns to him and she's like ready to get started, and you see she's starting to show some facial expression, yes? So she went from hiding behind the podium, I'm kind of nervous, to like, okay, here we go. I guess we're going to do this. And she faces her musicians. Cool, we on board so far. What did she just do? What did she did more than inspire.
She gave him the whole spirit.
No, what did she do though? Come on, she did something with her hands.
Spread her soul.
What did she just do?
She gave him energy.
She called him out. Did y'all see that?
That's from the
She's
basketball.
calling him out.
That's from the basketball.
Yes.
Command.
come on. She's calling him out, and he's like, oh, bet. And she saw it, and she's like, oh, okay, is that what we doing? I didn't know we was doing that shit. So she called him out, and he's like, bet, I'm gonna do this. She's getting a little energized. Everyone else is still a little off, but he's about to do his thing. Now where are we at? They going. So all it took was one person like, okay, I'm gonna get out from behind the podium, I'm gonna try this thing. And then another dude was like, hey, I'm gonna try, and he's like, I bet, let's see what you got. And then he ends up belting it. Like, did you hear him? This dude's tall. He's like, 6'5". He's about to belt this thing. And then the girl in front of him, what does she do? But she did something first. She looks back at him. Like, damn. Oh, you like that? How many of us in this office have had that dude that's walked in here and done like 5, 6, 7 roofs in a month? Damn. All of a sudden, like new rims on the truck. You're like, man, last Christmas you couldn't even buy food. Now you got like rims on. But she's like, okay, bet. If you're gonna go like that, I'll turn around and I'll match. Leader took the risk, called someone out, he answered. Because he answered, he inspired someone else. She turns around and she matches it. What does this mean? We're in Texas, y'all can say that shit.
Field goal.
Ooh, hallelujah.
I'm gonna say no shoot.
Let it grow, it means freeze.
Hood trauma.
That was physical.
That's
That was
Italian.
physical. My bad. Hit the ground. They're praising. What does that mean when they're praising?
Soul.
Soul.
Receiving.
They're opening up.
They're opening up.
They've been there, the
100%.
soul.
Yes. And then they're doing this. You notice they're all like this? What is this?
Energy.
Ownership. Ownership. This is me. This is my song. This is my musical. They're owning it. Now what's happening?
Everybody's in there somewhere.
Are they even in it?
No.
No. But all of a sudden they're watching it, and when we watch the thing, like it gets us like, man, I watched Usain Bolt break the world record. Anybody else watch Usain Bolt break the world record?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Flash.
You wanted to go run around and fly.
And all of a sudden I'm 6'4". I mean, I'm from Jamaica. Like all of a sudden, yeah, dreads came. What about Michael Phelps?
Yeah.
And that dude jumping in there, he look like Aquaman. Getting me inspired. I hate the pool, and all of a sudden I'm like, man, I want to do backstroke. When we move it such a way that the people that aren't even invested in what we're doing, they get motivated, now we're on the right track. What happens if y'all start moving in ways where y'all go home and your wife starts performing better? Because you've raised your standard. What happens when you go home and there's like,
Food on the table.
No, I'm good with it, but like, I'm gonna be in this scenario. Have you earned food on the table?
Yes. Some days, not every day though. So you gotta match that.
Yeah. What does that mean? All of a sudden, food shows up on the table. Guess what? How much more eager do you get up in the morning?
You right?
Now you bring home more, and you think it stops at dinner? Now all of a sudden there's steak, eggs, and legs. Yeah. You gotta own it. If you move in a way that inspires them. What about kids? What happens if you're the level of dad that empowers your kids to start being better kids? Or you empower other dads to be better dads, so now their kids are getting a better parental experience because that dad saw you do your parental experience better than they do their parental experience. Who was that? Probably top 100 best actors and actresses ever.
50.
Ever. Yeah, he's up there. Yes?
Yeah.
So now, someone who has done it already is watching it be done and he's inspired. So now the master is inspired by the fool or by the rookie because the rookie's elevated and now the master sees it and the master is crazy. Yes, I see it. I'm going to put my 25 years of experience in this. I'm going to let you know you were doing the exact right thing. Keep doing it. Look at the fucking pianist.
Oh yeah.
Like what? And if you remember back at, at the beginning, he was one of the faces that was
Yeah, like sleepy.
yes. He's like Ray Charleston now. Yes.
I play the guitar.
Look at this guy. I didn't even know he was there.
That's a girl. That's a girl.
No, there's I see a mustache, but we're in a bearded woman moment, so maybe what is she feeling?
Great.
Happiness.
She's on top of the world.
Everyone's energy.
So,
She's empowered. She's Goku.
Soul.
She's building a spirit bomb.
Yep. She's emotional.
She's getting all everybody's energy.
She started off nervous.
She's
When I don't want to step behind this, I don't want to step out from this, I don't want to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm nervous, okay, I'm going to do it, okay, I'm going to do it. You got this? Yeah, you got this? I bet. We got this? Yeah, we got this. Oh, we got this? We killing this. Oh, we killing this. Yes, we killing this. She's like, my nervousness, my risk empowered everyone else to do this, so the next time the risk comes, how easy is it, do you think, to do the risk? Super easy, because it pays out like this. So now, are you that nervous? Not if it ends up like this. If I can take the risk and it ends up putting out like this. Why do we cry?
Emotion.
Joy. Excitement.
Joy.
Excitement.
Okay, so tears are the greatest representation that the human experience is more than we can currently handle. It's the moment when the pot starts to boil, the steam starts, the sound happens. The tears are recognition. You're handling too much right now. It's too much for your handle. Here's your press relief. You cry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going through this experience so intensely. It's going on so amazingly well. They're now realizing that holy shit, it just happened. Now I showed you a video where Mikey, the guy who went out there and got shot, sacrificed his life, is the same action, but a little bit more on the spirit or inspirational light side, yes? She did the same thing as taking the bullets that Mikey did. Does that make sense? So Mikey went out and took the bullets and empowered everyone to do it because he sacrificed. She went out and did nervous and then performed and everyone performed. But we're in this circular of like, if our leaders will actually kind of take the risk and empowers everyone to meet the standard. Yes? Does that make sense?
Here I go.
So, why did I play this before we went over the relationships chapter?
Because in control with other people.
The energy you bring to the table is the same energy that's going to be reflected by your spouse.
Yes. Yeah. And realistically, could that be professionally? Could that be?
That could be everything.
Hey,
It doesn't matter relationship.
That could be everything.
Everything.
Because like the energy you bring into the
Nice.
work
To see the
environment
beard.
is what the people on your peers around you are going to go with as well.
Yes. And then I followed up and I started and took it to mental and went disempowering and empowering belief system. So do the same thing, but now she walks in and she's pissed off, angry, and mad. What happens? It goes the other direction, just as easy. Okay? Here is now your bearded woman from the movie. Oh, yeah. Tall dude singing. Now the midget singing. How ironic. Thoughts?
So what?
Thoughts? So now you saw the bearded woman.
Yeah.
That's her character. It's pretty luscious. Yeah. But the beard was in there.
I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting.
bigger. I mean,
You
I
said
think
bigger.
Corey has the
Only
better one. Just saying, not trying to like this on her, but
You have a nicer beard than she does.
yeah, Corey. Just you know.
But can Corey sing as good?
That's true.
Pick the song, Corey.
Yeah, so this is me. I really enjoy the title of it because as the bearded woman, what she's really saying is like, look, I'm fully aware that I'm the bearded woman and I'm still owning it all. And this is exactly who the hell I am. And I'm not going to change. You can either love me or hate me. I've found my people who love me. And I'm going to move in such a way that this is me. Remember I talked about 100%? Like I'm 100%. This is me. This is, you asked who I was. This is now it. The dreads are me. The tats are me. This is me. And I get to show up this way and simply empower you guys to start doing the same thing.
I feel like the first video had more like empower
Of course, yes.
than this one.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I just want to show the music so you can see the scene part. You get it here, yeah. I also really enjoy this part because when they first walk in, what do they walk into?
Big crowd.
I like
It's
this.
like
I
the
like
rich
this
group.
video better though.
Yeah, it's the rich group. Yeah. So you walk in and you're kind of getting those looks and they're kind of like, ugh. And they owned it like, no, I've got you. Okay? Notice the little dude grabbed your hand. What moment was that? That was a military moment. Hey, I got you. This is that family part. I got you. And she went, okay, I'll go do this. And then she went out of the rich room. Where'd she go? Streets. What's happening in the streets?
They're trying to get her
Telling her to go home.
Yeah, throwing fire, screaming, yelling. That's like the chaos. That's the command and respond moment, yeah? Like, shit, I'm surrounded now. I'm like out in the streets. Now what? Remember, this is me. Move this way. Move high standard. It will pay off. It will pay off. And then they went in where?
Back inside.
Inside the what? It's like the circus. Yeah, it's a circus moment. Yeah, it's a circus moment. So they went from outside to the circus, and now people are paying to come see them. Oh. Just because they chose to show up as me. This is me at the highest standard. This is me. Love me, hate me, I don't care. You do that sooner or later. Now all of a sudden people paid to see you do your thing. Full circle here. Okay? So I have a little bit of a scale. I want you guys to write what you see in orange here. Relationships at the top. Your left arrow is a downward arrow. On the downward arrow, you write priority. On the other side, give yourself some space in here. You're going to write in here, so you're going to need space here. On the other side is an upward arrow that says attention/bandwidth. Your bandwidth, attention/bandwidth. Down priority, up attention and bandwidth, 4 sections.
What's on this side?
Yep, says attention,
Attention.
attention/bandwidth. Bandwidth. This is the balance for your relationships. This is the scale I want you to put your relationships. Your top box priority is number 1. So your top box is your top priority. One, top box is your top priority. I want you to write your top priorities in that box. Family, financial security, bills. Number 1 is your highest priority, the most important things. Your relationship with yourself would be a top priority. Your relationship with your family, your relationship with money, your relationship is going to be top priority. As you go down to relationship or down in priority number 2, this is like friends, fun, pleasure. Number 2 is important, but it's not number 1. Stuff's fun. It's like your new car. It's the fun stuff. Vacation. Man, it's the fun stuff. Number 2 is, man, it's, you need it. It's important in your life. But it's not mom, dad, son, daughter important. Number 3. This is like people, or just society. This is like stress. This is the news. This is like what's going on in the world. This is like the outside, not very important stuff. The bottom. This is like the cherry on top. This is the whipped cream. Number 4 is like the stuff that to some people might be important, to other people isn't that important. This is like your happiness, your sadness. This is the stuff that like is big, but like comes and goes every day. Hunger. Like this stuff is just like no matter the way we get around it, sleep. Like there's no way around how we get it. Like it's really not that important, but like if we don't do it, it will kill us. Like weirdly enough, we're not really doing a whole lot with it, but like it's important. Does that make sense? Those things? Sleep, like that's the bottom, okay? On the other side, you see an arrow that does attention and bandwidth. So this is like how much attention, how much you give. This is like your percentage. This is like being able to measure, okay? So as you go up in the priority list, you have to give more attention. Yes, your number 1 from the priority requires a higher attention or bandwidth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lower in priority, it's a lower bandwidth and attention. Lower in priority, lower in attention. We on the same path here, yes?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So if you are going to give less attention to the bottom and more attention to the top, that's also going to mean that if you make a change in those things, it's going to make the greatest impact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you lose your job, how huge is that? Huge. Makes a huge impact. So you give a lot of attention to it. Yes?
Yeah.
The bottom, you go from sad to happy in the same day 10 times. Is it that big? Changes quite a bit. So you don't get much attention to it. You're sad right now, that's okay. We'll be happy by the end of the day. Vice versa. Yes? Back and forth. Are you giving the same amount of attention to make sure those things don't happen? Meaning how much should you give money? This is the like priority list here, is also what you give in growing. Okay, so your money here has a relationship with numerous different things. If you sleep better, if you communicate better, if you educate better, if you grab more skills, if you have more everything, you can make an impact on money very impactfully, can't you? Does that make sense? Yes.
I have a quick question. Okay, so is this diagram based on what it should be, or like our perspectives? Okay, because like for example, on mine, I have like society, outing, stuff like number 4, like
Okay.
I'm around to ask about it.
Okay.
You know, like
Yep.
that, and then okay. I was just trying to make sure.
Cool. So if you do, let's talk through that. What I am trying to get to a point in this explanation here is your work would impact your family, yes?
Yes.
What else would your work impact?
My mental state,
What else?
my health,
What else?
the financial,
What else?
Relationship.
Your education, your retirement, your investments, your fun.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Society. I'll do pronouns. Okay, so you put pronouns at the bottom here. Not that important. Society. Yes, not that
Yes.
important. Okay? All of a sudden they make a raw law and rule and things where all of a sudden your child can go into any room now, or any bathroom now. Cool. How much does that impact you? So you might think it's down here. You might think it really doesn't give that much attention. But what I'm meaning is if we make an impact on our higher things up here, it changes your life. If you're sad, happy, if your friend's sad, happy, if you get drunk last night, you have a hangover today, if all of those things are here, does it really make an impact on your life?
I mean, if you're hungover, how are you gonna go to work and be
Right, and you'll do
be a
it.
leader?
Right, and you'll do it again tomorrow.
Right.
And you'll have it again tomorrow. You have a chance tomorrow. You have again a chance tomorrow. You have another chance tomorrow.
So you're stuck
You have
in
another
that-
chance again tomorrow.
the top one.
No.
Oh,
Because,
Sorry.
no, I understand.
Okay.
Yep. Because you're going to get a chance to do it again tomorrow. Another chance to do it again tomorrow. At bats. If they change a law, one decision now allows everyone to be in the bathroom. How important is it? Huge. You get drunk today, but you don't get drunk tomorrow. Did it make an impact?
But if you didn't do that,
It's just what if you never go to sleep and get hungover?
Yes, fair. I was an addict for about 4 years. Day one, when I stopped becoming an addict, did the addiction have any more impact on me?
Yeah.
How about day two?
Yeah.
How about day three? How about day four?
Yeah.
How about day 4,000?
Yeah.
I still have the same chance to become an addict on day 4,000 than I do on day one. Every time the decisions, you have more at bats. Yes, if you make an impact and you become an alcoholic, hell yeah, that's gonna be able to like whoop your thing. But every decision of drinking alcohol is not compounding on the next one. If you stop today, it doesn't impact tomorrow. If you start tomorrow, it impacts today, but it doesn't have to impact the next day. So when we start making decisions, I want you to think on daily impact. This law right here, one choice, everything is now impacted. The reason I bring that up is, let's say tonight I go home and drink. Get hammered. Tomorrow I wake up hungover. But I come in tomorrow at 1 o'clock and you don't notice that I'm drunk. I'm fine. Do you know that I'm drunk? Did you know that I drank last night? You don't know any of those things. Did the impact carry over?
No.
No. Weirdly enough, we think our singular decisions have a lot more impact than they really do. And this is impact. This is the scale of impact. As your priority goes down, is society, priority-wise, really huge for you? To you, it might not feel that way. But if a law is made in priority in society and you're forced to follow it, and all of a sudden that can impact you huge. But as you go down and all of a sudden you start drinking and you stop drinking because your why is, and you start tomorrow, guess what? Boom, we can start making new habits in a positive direction. That decision stopped right there, immediately. You stop drinking, you don't stay drunk for like a week. If you stop, you're done. It stops right there. Does that make sense? Yes? These are impactful from a large scale. This is impactful from a small scale. Things that we do day to day, if you brush your teeth today, will it really make that big of a difference tomorrow? If you go to the gym today, you go to the gym tomorrow, you go to the gym the next day, you're gonna see anything every day? No, but if you do it 400 days in a row, you'll see a huge impact. Does that make sense? Yes? Yeah? If I quit my job though, one decision now, way bigger. It impacted all of these. If I go to the gym today, can I still do all of these?
I guess it was just like meaning like society, like, you know, if I was to judge, I don't know, Jackie, no weeks, you know? Like, no, but I'm just saying, you know, would it affect their lives if I judged them
So I put that in feelings.
in the feelings part?
That's
Okay,
where-
yeah, that's what I meant by
low
society.
thing. That's the
Okay.
low thing. Your feelings, society's feelings don't mean anything. But all of a sudden, if a law is put in there,
Right, and that's a different.
that's huge, okay? So social situations are huge. Our feelings, our own personal feelings, our own personal habits, very small.
Our biases.
Very small.
Okay.
Means very
Okay,
little.
so that's what I meant by society.
That's very
Okay.
little. Yep, we good? Are we good on that now? Yes? Okay. So then in attention here, this is what I mean. Let's say one of these now gets, let's do an hour. Now all of a sudden one work decision could have a 10-hour impact. Does that make sense? Because it's one from all of them. Yes, it collects from all of them. Cool. That's what this stuff is. Huge impact, one decision. One decision, small impact. Cool? And I'll give a little bit of clarity on this here. I'm glad you kind of did a little bit of question on that. Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all have this one life to live. A fleeting shadow amongst all that exists in this vast universe. We have the ability to accomplish anything, truly anything, if we use our time wisely. Is this jar full?
Like 2 more.
Okay, is the jar full?
No, not really.
You feel like 2 more.
If you've seen this, play along. Is the jar full? Yeah, it's full. Hell yeah, that thing's full. You're not gonna put any more golf balls in there, that's full. So, it's big stuff, yeah? It's full.
I mean, it's just a
Oh.
no, it's just
Is it full now?
Yeah, it's full. Yeah, it's full. Play along, it's full.
And how about now? Is the jar full now? Now, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. Golf balls are the important things, your family, your friends, your health, and your passions. The pebbles are the other important things, your car, your job, your home. The sand is everything else, it's just a small stuff. Now, if you put the sand into the jar first, you won't have room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same is true in life. You spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff. You won't have time for all the really important things that matter to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Take care of the golf balls first, the really important things. Set your priorities, because everything else is just sand. Yes.
Professor, what is the Bureau?
I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there's always room for a couple of beers with a friend.
What are y'all thoughts on that? Some of y'all have seen that before. Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on that? Yeah, it's good. Why is it good?
Because if you put all the unimportant stuff, you're room for the
Small stuff ruin the big stuff.
Yeah. So I'm going to take it a little bit different. I just squared the fourth one. So the fourth one is my beer, yes? And I told you guys, it's really not that big of a deal, right? It's really not that huge of an impact on a day-to-day decision. And the reason I say a day-to-day decision is because this scale is the way that the balance works. What happens if this amount of time was given on this subject? Huh?
And those small decisions will control your life.
So now all of a sudden, if drinking becomes family important, that's how this gets bad. But all of a sudden, if this is water, or education, or whatever else, and that beer is now something positive for you, where does that impact go? So this isn't overly in the day-to-day very important. But if you end up spending a lot of time, good or bad, it will have an impact. So we're talking about disempowering beliefs, we're talking about how you show up in relationships, we're talking about how you talk, we're talking about all of those types of things. All of that is beer. And if you do it, you'll get response. If you do it high, you get high response. So if you're that next level everything, and you're doing all of this as positive, you see the response. You do all of this with beer, now what do they feel? And it doesn't have to be beer. Yes, it can be pressing snooze. It can be skipping work, it could be not knocking on the door, it could be not all those things. That's the different standard. That's the stuff that we get to control. If you do it at a high standard, you get high response. If you do it at a lower standard, you get a low response. We've covered a lot today. Yeah? Any questions, any thoughts, anything?
I think the one tire like pebbles and golf balls, I think it put it like into a better perspective in my brain.
Yeah, for sure.
Than that. You know, not to throw the shade or anything like that,
No
but it's like,
shade.
yeah, now you actually see it. It's like, the golf balls were,
Yes.
you know,
And that I do that very intentionally where I show that first and then I do this because I need you guys to understand like this is actually the day to day. Is he really talking about golf balls? No. It feels warm and fuzzy, like look at it. That's that like, now what? All those kids felt cool and they left, but now what? You guys have to see, you guys have to start giving time and attention in a consistent manner. This is how this works. As the priority goes down, it should get that level of time and attention. If it's very important, it should be very important in time and attention and bandwidth. Do you guys know what I mean by bandwidth? Do you know what that word means?
No.
So,
What much you can fit?
I'm working for Eric, and I'm Eric's sales manager, and my mom passes away yesterday. And I know it's the end of the month. And I go in and I go to Eric and say, hey, this is going on, just so you know, like I'm not in a good place. And he's like, I don't really care, you have to produce $500,000 in the next week. Do I have the bandwidth to give him the focus and attention and things that he would need for the $500,000 a week? What do I mean by bandwidth?
Emotional capacity.
The right headspace.
Yes. So what should I then say to Eric in that moment?
I'm not.
I don't have the bandwidth. Yes. Okay, I don't have the bandwidth. I understand your need and your response. I understand those things, but I don't have the capacity. It is even more intelligent for us to communicate that because if you take it on and you go off and you fail, it was your job for taking the job because you should have said, I don't have the bandwidth for that. You took the job, he assumed, command and response, you responded that you were supposed to do it, you didn't do it, and went, but I didn't have the bandwidth. You should have said that up front. Okay, so bandwidth. If it's up here, your family, how much family does your bandwidth require? A lot. How much does like day-to-day singular decisions do? Small. Moving along. Next alarm. Alarm comes tomorrow. Alarm comes tomorrow. Alarm comes tomorrow. Over and over and over and over. With small bandwidth. You guys get what I'm saying here? You're good on all this.
The definition says a range of frequencies within a given band, protect or use transmitting a signal.
Yes, capacity. Yeah, capacity. Cool. So we've done a lot. We've got like 30 more minutes. I wanted to open up for a little bit of Q&A. You guys now know me a little bit, spoken, talked some shit. Any questions? How are we going to do this? What's the next 6 weeks looks like? Anything along those lines?
Yeah, what does the next 6 weeks look like?
Cool. Yeah. So your leaders raise your hand. Cool. So your leaders and I will be spending some time where there are 5 more chapters and there are an extensive amount in each one of the chapters that we've gone over today. I want you and your teams to be ultimately walking them through the process of the next 8 chapters. They need to go through all 8 chapters of the workbook. You don't necessarily need to go over it with them, but some of those questions they need to be able to answer. We then are going to take that workbook and we're going to be able to kind of take the needs of each singular person. So the leader is then going to talk with them. And you're going to kind of self-audit the 8 chapters and go, where do you need? Financial would be a good one. In your financial, you all of a sudden establish that you need $80K a year to be able to get where you want. Your leader would then talk you through how are we going to get to $80K a year? How many doors? We did our closing percentage. How many doors do you need to see? Are you going to close? Are you going to this? So you're now going to go through each chapter and you're going to start finding highlights. That makes sense? Once the highlights are done, we now go to call to action. So I'm going to give highlights. I'm going to say, okay, we need to implement this, this, this. We're going to do tools, habits, and processes from that point. Okay? That's all going to be done in about the first 4 weeks. The last 2 weeks are what we call the performance metrics. That's down here. Your performance metrics are, okay, we've implemented this. How do I see the result? Okay? Everyone now has to wake up at 5 a.m. Cool. What the hell is it supposed to give us? Does it give us that response? You wake everyone up at 5 a.m., everyone gets more tired, and all of a sudden sales go down. Was that a smart decision? No. Your performance metric shows that you should not be doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're gonna walk through these next 8 chapters over the next 6 weeks and being able to get you tools, habits, and processes on how to actually start making more money, return on investment, have better job experience at life, and work. You're like happy to come to work, you're all those things. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. The last thing I want you guys to do is, I want you to go to a blank sheet right now.
Need a blank sheet. Don't give it to nobody else.
When I need a blank sheet, we got paper right here. Blank sheet. You can
Kevin,
also
what I
write
tell
on-
you, bro? Just ignore everything I said.
Which one?
Say no, bro.
No.
No means no.
Here, you want one? He got it.
Okay, first, email. Write an email.
Oh, I
Write
do need a
an
piece of
email
paper.
down. Kenneth, Kenneth.
Write that one down.
Yep, Kenneth. Authentic, AUTHENTIK. @gmail.com. You now have the ability to contact me. For the leaders that raise your hand, Eric will be getting you my cell phone number and you will have the ability to reach out to me personally. This is one of those moments where I'm going to kind of open up a line of communication. You now have the ability to communicate with me. If you do not take advantage of this opportunity in 6 months down the way, you are not where you wanted to be. Whose fault is that?
Ours.
Yours. Good. There's that responsibility stuff. Yes. This line of communication is I need, I want, I need, I want, I am, I will. I need, I want, I am, I will. If you are going to reach out to me, you are going to state, I need. What do you need? Out of your need, I want. What do you want from me? I am. What are you willing to do in that moment? And then I will. What are your actions moving forward? Let's do that into real action. Okay? Good example. Cool. Me and someone willing to do some role play. Raise your hand.
Can I volunteer somebody?
Sure.
Wait first.
Cool. So Mason, I'm writing you you're the general manager, and I'm writing you an email, and it's going to say, Dear Mason, I need about $2,500 extra a month. My significant other just found out that she is pregnant. We are about 7.5 months away from then. I need some details on insurance. I need details on schedule, and I need details on how I can make more money. There's my I need. Cool? I want some time set aside during your week that you can give me some time that we can dive into training. I don't feel comfortable in doing the door-to-door sales close, and I would like to go over it with role play. I also want the ability to be able to watch you do what you do in some form or fashion where I can watch a high close person. And I would like the ability to be with somebody else within the team that can show me what I need to do time-wise to be able to see what an efficient schedule is. Cool? I want. I am. For the next 90 days, I have the ability where I'm willing to come in early and stay late. My significant other and I are fully prepared to work outside of my current agreed work hours to be able to get this training. I am willing. I am. I will do what I need to after those 90 days to make sure that you continue to give to me, continue to teach me. I will adjust my schedule as need be as long as I have a week and in front in communication. So do not put something on the front end of me where I then have to kind of make a quick decision. If it's planned, I have no issue working outside of my normal hours. That's my email to Mason. Cool? Does that make sense? I need. He now knows exactly what the hell I'm doing. I want. He now knows how to give me what I'm doing. He now knows that I'm willing. I've sat there and I'm willing to do this, 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 and this. I'm also willing to do this. I will do this, 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 and this. Now when Mason comes to you, one, he's equipped to be able to know how to serve you. Two, he's going to be able to look at you and say, I can't, I don't have the capacity, I'm doing to this. But he knows now how to respond to you in the highest beneficial way. Does that make sense? So you are now writing an email to me. I need. What is your need? Tell me. How do I help? I want to know. Cool. What am I supposed to give you? Can I win in this interaction? What are you willing to do? Like, I don't want to I'm not going to charge you. So since I'm not going to charge you, how do I know that you're going to like work hard for me or do anything for me to spend an hour, 2 hours with you? Is it going to pay off for me? And then I also know what you're willing to do though. I will is like, oh, he's not really willing to like X, Y, or Z, so I won't go there. Does that make sense? Emails, when you're sending to me, I need to know how to win. Don't just like vent. Don't brainstorm. Don't ideas. Don't anything along those lines. Does that make sense? That's additional. We get to do that on top. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me how to win. Tell me what you're willing to do. Cool? This email right here, command and response. Command and response. How many of y'all get bullshit emails? Yeah. And then you're like, I don't really know what to do right now. What do I do with my hands? I don't know how to respond. Yes. Get rid of that shit. Tell them exactly what you need, how to get there, and what you're willing to do. Cool? Cool. Next part, I need you to write down, so you now have the email. 5 people close to you that you are going to leave here and you are going to communicate to them how important they are to you. Write 5 people's name that you are going to leave here and you are going to reach out to them and you are going to let them know how important they are to you. You are then going to ask that same person how you can show up better for them. 5 people's names that are important to you that you are going to leave here and you're going to tell them how important they are to you.
Daisy be one of mine?
Yes.
Me too, bro.
Or the last thing, and let
Yeah.
them know what.
And ask them,
Let me just text you.
and those 5 people, ask them how you can show up better for them. So you're then asking those 5 people, how can I show up better for you? And the 5th and final, communicate to them a need that you have from them.
Could you repeat that last part you said?
Yep. Then you are going to tell them a need that you have of them. So something that they can give to you. The 5 most important people, tell them something that they can do for you that you haven't communicated. That's not going to be easy. I want you to know that. That's not going to be easy at all. It also can be done in a very damaging or very empowering way. Does anybody know what I mean by holding space?
Yeah.
Keep your distance.
Sometimes you just need people around in your life just to keep you around.
Okay.
Just to be a placeholder until something else better comes around.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
it's horrible as it sounds.
Yeah. Holding space. Simon Sinek, anybody know who Simon Sinek is? He's a leadership coach. Simon Sinek has a rule between his friends that him and his friends are not allowed to cry alone. If you're gonna cry, call me. If you cry, you're calling me. I won't fix it. I will just hold space. I would just exist in the mud with you. I would just be in the mud with you. I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be anything along those lines. It's just, I'll be in the mud with you. Your friends, you exist. I'll hold space for you. Okay? When we start holding space for others, what that ultimately does is that gives everybody the opportunity for them to start communicating to you in the way that they need. And when you say, hey, I need something from you, what you're actually asking is, do they have space for you, right? I need something. Do you have space for one of my needs? So they have to be able to hold space for you. When you say, I need something, what you are doing is you are asking them to put their needs aside and your needs ahead of theirs. Okay? Everybody on board with that? Yes. So, if your needs are more important than theirs, and you're gonna say, hey, I need this from you, and you were to say, I need this in a way that's just hateful and toxic, and you say, I need this, are they going to respond in a way that you get what you want? No. So the way you ask is very important. So me and Kimba do this a lot. We're both kind of going through our own personal stuff, and there's moments where I'll be going through something and I'll text Kimba and I'll say, hey, do you have space for me? She gets full capacity to say yes or no. She says yes, I reach out, we start a conversation, I vent, I go through what I need to do. She holds space, she listens, no big deal. She says, no, I don't have space. What's that feel like?
Shitty with her.
Someone just said shit.
Shitty.
Yeah, it feels shitty, yeah? But doesn't everyone have the capacity to go to tell you, I don't have space for you right now?
It's the same way that you do to other people.
Yeah. So in this kind of relationship scenario, in this like need scenario, this need request is this first kind of love token opportunity. So if I was to say, you come up and say, hey man, my name's Kenneth. I'm really struggling today. Do you have time? Do you have space for me to just kind of listen for me? It's like, yeah, I do, of course, and we get connected. Now all of a sudden, you have the capacity to do the same thing to me, right? If you're feeling bad one day, I can carry it, you bring it back to me. And we do this back and forth thing where we can depend on each other. Now all of a sudden, when we're out in chaos and I go, yo, I need, do you respond? Hell yeah, you do, because I held space for you in those moments where you needed it. And then reverse back the other way. This activity right here is me trying to help you guys starting to build relationships with the 5 closest people in your life, where you start building this thing where like you can ask the need from them and they show up, and they ask something from you and you show up, and it's this reverse back and forth. Yeah? So now let's bring it back to the roof. Your general manager, your sales guys, are y'all treating each other that way? Do it like this. Okay? Take this activity and do this with each other. Your leaders, start loving on each other this way. How can I show up for you this way? Do you have time to hold space? Hey, I need a meeting. Do you have time for a meeting today? No, I don't. I'm really stressed today. That's cool. Can you let me know when you have time? Because I'd really like to bring something up that I really believe could help you in a way that you can make more money. Today is not the day. Will you let me know a day that you can take that conversation? I sure can. I appreciate it. How open that is? Cool. I'm going to wrap up today with simply telling you I was really nervous today. Eric and Daisy called and they asked, hey, can you do this? And you guys are the largest professional interaction that I've done in a industry that I'm not in. Okay? So I've done fitness and I've done health and I've done all those things, big capacity. I've spoken to a couple thousand people. I do school assemblies. That's an easy part. Roofing, I was like, what the hell do I tell a roofing dude? Like, I've never knocked on a door for a roof. But I've done curbing. And I know people, and I know humans, and I know sales, I know leadership, I know social media, I know all of those things that we kind of started talking about at the beginning, but today, I didn't really want to teach that shit. That shit comes in time when you actually trust me. Y'all don't trust me yet. That's okay. It's cool. Hopefully I broke a little bit of that ice today, get a little bit closer. Leaders, I want to spend some time getting to know each one of you over the next 6 weeks. Okay, so I want to spend time getting to know each other. You guys have an email to get in contact with me. You guys have notes. You guys have this stuff. The 8 SOP chapters you guys are going to actually get. So I've emailed them already over to everybody. So you guys are going to get those. Other than that, I am done today. And we can wrap this thing up. So I appreciate you guys for having me out. These next 6 weeks are going to be very intense. Do not bring low standard into this interaction. I will beat you up and I will spit you out. Okay? And I mean that with love, but I mean that, okay? I am not actually here for you. I'm here for your families, your daughters, your children, your people that you need to take care of. Like, if it hurts your feelings, but it takes care of your bills at the end of the year, I'm okay with hurting your feelings. There is a job and I was hired to do a job. Sorry it hurt your feelings, sorry to do those types of things, but like that little baby out there needs Eric to be able to do what he needs to do to take care of him out there. And his wife needs to know that he's gonna do it every damn day. Cool? Cool. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Q&A, have some fun. What do we need to do? I'm chilling now. I have no time restraint.
Let's get a cool picture, yeah?
Yes.
So George, not to show
Right
her.
here.
Right here?
Yeah. You're gonna have some people like kneel down,
Thank
butt
you.
down, sit down, you know?
Gracias por no robártelo.
I got you, bro.